Guys, first day of isolation for me, so I thought, well, I'll just collate what Steve, Steve Eves, Andrew Pegg, and I have all found on my Sudbourne permission. Some quite interesting bits actually, and I've still got a few bits to come back from the Fines Liaison Officer. So not everything is here, unfortunately, but yeah, it's quite. Having said that, yeah, this is only sort of Roman and Celtic finds. Sorry, Roman and Saxon finds, no Celtic at all. So this is what I've found personally is just here is a top of a Roman hairpin. There's a complete one, slightly different design. Just looks like a little mushroom on there, a little magic mushroom, I suppose, or something. The other one is at the flow, like I say, the Fines Liaison Officer. There's a little fibula brooch, part of a fibula brooch. Again, very small fibula brooch. I'll show you a bigger version of that, which Andrew found in a little while. Oops, that one's gone for a burn. Then we've got what they call a lozenge brooch. Again, Roman lozenge brooch. I think it probably been enamelled inside or something like that. A little catch pin down on the back of that to secure it in place. Then we move from Roman to Saxon. This is a Saxon cruciform brooch, or part of it, should I say. That would have been extended down here, probably where my little finger is, ish. And then the pin would have come across down behind a catch plate, as you can imagine, down there. Two, I'm fairly certain, parts of Roman rings. Don't know if you can see that. That's a very basic and crude Roman ring. All these bits were off the same area in Sudbourne. That one there, and that one's that's a full ring, if you like. But again, very basic, kind of crude, but bloody lovely. And then out of the blue pops up a silver thimble. You might have seen this on some of my other Facebook videos. That was all squished up, but I managed to straighten it out fairly well. But yeah, right. And then I've got a Sestercius coin, big heavy coin, Roman period again. These are sort of fairly, well, I say fairly early Roman for us on our fields, and probably I think that's a Sestercius as well. It is, yeah. They have S and a C stamped on them for Sestercius. It's their biggest denomination, as in for the copper coins anyway, or copper alloy coins. And then we move down to a Dupondus. Trying to think who this guy is, I can't remember off the top of my head. Bit plain on the back, but it's the first Dupondus I'd found. I'm pretty sure I've got another one somewhere, but missed that out. And this is what you call a radiate head. Oops, chucked it around. Sorry, radiate head with a little spiky haircut. I don't know if you can see him. Light's not brilliant. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see him there. Sun shining through the window a bit. So yes, all these coins range from around the same sort of period, between I think it's 150 to 250 AD. And then the two silver denarius, which you've probably seen on previous pictures I've posted. These two, it's very interesting because Steve, in his infinite wisdom, said, I think now, if I'm correct, there's 4 of these Sestercius to 1 Roman denarii, and there's 5 Dupondus, which is the smaller one here, to 1 silver denarii. About these ones I don't know. So I'm going to have to find out about them ones. Indeed, I don't even know what they would call them. But they go right down to what they call a minon, which is actually about probably half the size of that. So yes, I've got some homework to do. Right, so that's my finds from there upwards. Obviously, you can appreciate it's probably a little bit more than the other guys because I get a little bit more time to go on them. And I'm a jammy git. So right now, this is what Steve has found. Steve Eves. He's found. I think these are all Japondus, and he's actually nursing as we speak. It's beautiful Sturcius at home that we found slightly over the way from these. But yeah, it looks like they're 3 Japondus. As you can see, they're smaller than the Sturcius. That one's a particularly nice one. I don't know if you can see that. No. The cameras are not best. There's an eagle standing on a rock there. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it looks like, or on a globe or something. Looks like it's standing on a globe. Not the best quality picture, I'm afraid. But yes, and again, Steve's found a beautiful little silver Roman denarius as well, which was totally encrusted in this brown crud. How he noticed that it was silver, I don't know, but he's managed to clean it to reveal this beautiful character on there. Look at that. Fantastic. Also, Steve has found a small piece of ring. So if you can imagine, I can't hold this properly, try it, sorry. Yeah, that orientation, and then there would have been possibly a stone or something mounted in there, a piece of glass mounted in there. So we found that one as well. So that's 1, 2, 3 up till now parts of rings, or rings and parts of rings. This is a catch plate of a Roman fibula brooch. So again, the pin would have come down and then locked in behind the back of here to hold it in place. I'll show you the fibula brooch in a minute, because I'm now coming on to Andrews. There's obviously various different forms of them, you know, different shapes and sizes. So yes, on to Andrews. Again, another small, I've got to be careful how I say this, piece of ring. Piece of ring. Again, off the same field. You can see that very well. Ooh. Right. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, that would again look like it had something mounted in it. And that's literally the top piece, where it would have possibly been a small piece of glass or possibly a gem. I don't know. Don't know whether they'd find them in them times. Again, we're thinking Roman because of the purely because of what's coming off there. Apart from that silver thimble, I haven't seen anything else. Another little pretty little coin there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Looks like Constantine, I think, or Constance and Constantine are sort of like very similar names, but obviously 2 different thimmies. And then moving on to Andrew's brooches. Now these are the fibula brooches, which I was talking about with the catch plate. This is a small version, so the one for the catch plate would have been quite a bit bigger, I think. How pretty is that? You can see the spring mechanism in the back. These would have been worn to attach 2 pieces of cloven together. If you can imagine a drape over the shoulder and then hooking up the other part from down below, so it go over the shoulder and down below, and these would have been used to attach to them. You can see that very well. That's a small one as well. Indeed, the same with the cruciform brooch as well. They would have been used in the same scenario. There, and I think I've got this right anyway. And there's another one. And now, this is what Andrew found as well. This is another fibula brooch. He done really well actually on this day, because he found 2 brooches, a piece of broken ring, and that little coin. Now you can see down here is where the catch plate would have been. And to show you this one again, this is a catch plate of possibly a bigger one. Focus. Do you know what I mean? The pin would come down the side and then lock into there, sort of thing, so it stops it jumping out. That's what I mean by catch plate. So there you go. So these are the finds that we've had